long do you think it would take to become conversational in Japanese from knowing nothing? Well, gosh, I was probably having conversations after a few months of studying. I mean, you can always have conversation like even after just a week. Any conversation like talking about your hobbies or like where you're from, like you can do that in a week. It's not that bad. It just depends. Like to be conversational, if being conversational means you can talk about pretty much any topic, and if there are like difficult words, it can be explained to you in Japanese. If that's how you categorize conversational, I was probably there maybe after about a year and a half, 2 years. Like being able to be like if we talk about politics, for example, and there's like some words that I don't understand, I would be able to ask in Japanese to have that word be explained in easier Japanese. I'd say that's like you're having a conversation, breaking down like hard concepts in the target language. I'd say that's, I guess, my definition of like fully conversationally fluent. But just like, I mean, shooting the shit with people, God, I mean, you can do it in a few months. If you go pretty hard, you can do it in a few months. Like really really basic conversations. That is like you're probably not about to be like doing like uh I don't know, like hot, like talking about a business or like history or some shit like. I mean, it kind of depends. Immersion learning is different than just taking classes, though. Oh yeah, I mean, if you're just taking classes, bro, I mean, fucking 16 years, yeah, you're gonna be fucking stuck, dude. If you're just taking classes, yeah, you're probably not gonna be like conversational ever, really. Unless you're like studying it's like hardcore classes. Like casual classes are really good for like maybe going on a trip, but getting fluent or having like deep conversations, nah, I don't think so. Especially if it's like a group setting too, it's just gonna take so long. Language study you have to be like kind of selfish with, man, because it's just all like exposure. You have to be immersed and like exposed to it like a shit ton. So just like going to a class like once a week or something, or like twice a week, it's hard to get those reps in. But if you go ham and go like full immersion mode, even if you don't live in Japan, and you just do like a bunch of Japanese media and like uh do like some space repetition stuff, you can get pretty good at Japanese in probably about a year. You could go to Japan, you could lock up, go hard in America, study Japanese through like immersion, and a year later you could probably be pretty good to converse if you go like hard. But it's possible. It is definitely possible. I've seen it before. What is the best way to use Japanese in Japan? Oh, just talking to people, man. I mean, I would chat up the ladies at the 7-Eleven. I would chat up older guys at my gym. I would talk to everybody, my coworkers, my students, just try to learn everything. Like, even if I was talking with my students, I would still be trying to like take notes and like learn from them, because they have a different way of speaking than, the older guys or like, my coworkers, stuff like that. So you can learn like funny ways of saying shit. Uh, that's how I learned like what Maji Manji was. So you just got to talk to everyone, man. Can you still converse? Oh yeah, yeah. If there is a Japanese person like chilling with me, I could probably talk. There's probably a lot
You
of vocab
shouldn't
I
feel
forgot
bad
though.
for not knowing how to roll R's. Some kids don't learn it just like that here either. I was in speech therapy when I was kid for autism.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, R sounds for a lot of people, like especially if you have speech impediments, it's hard to get out. I had some Japanese students too, like they would avoid any word with an R. Always, always. They were so embarrassed, like trying to pronounce it. I felt so bad. R sounds are just rough in a lot of languages. Spanish you had to roll them. In English you had to like throat your own tongue. But for us it's natural. We just grew up doing that. But for Japanese kids, like, bro, they have no, they've never uttered that sound in their whole life. So it's like so hard for them. God, they get so embarrassed. I felt so bad. I felt I felt even worse for laughing sometimes, man. I'm not gonna lie. But some kids were just so fucking funny. Like they knew they were bad at English and they would just send it. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, I laughed. But they were just so funny, dude. They would like try to get me to laugh and it was just, I couldn't help it. God damn, man. Dude, I wish you could have seen some of the days were just so funny. God damn, those kids were hilarious. Bro, watching them struggle on some of the words is just fucking hilarious. You know, if you can't laugh at your students, man, I mean, god damn. What's the point, bro? What is the fucking point? I obviously wouldn't like laugh at them in their face or anything like that, but like after the class, I would be like, damn, that shit was hilarious. God damn. Yeah, they were awesome, man. God damn. Give an example. Oh god, let me try to think of an example of like, I mean, we would have to do like speech practice and stuff, right? And you know, some of the words we would have to practice over and over again. And one of the kids was the only kid like in his grade. So he was the only one that could do it, but he just didn't give a fuck about it at all. So we would have to repeat the lines. And at one point, he said something. Oh God, I forget the word. I cannot remember the word. But he said the word and it was just so off. And I said it correctly in English, but slower. And then he did it again, but he like closed his eyes and like said it with his like chest out, like, God. I mean, like a, how can I describe it? He like almost got on like one of his like tippy toes and like pushed his chest out and like closed his eyes and said it like a princess, like floating in the air, and just said it so confidently wrong. Bro, this was the one time I actually just laughed in his face. I can't remember what he said. I just remember him just like butchering it so fucking bad. Dude, I could not stop laughing, man. Yeah, he said it all like pretentious, like, yeah, it was so funny, dude. He knew he got my ass too. Dude, he knew he got my ass, bro. As soon as he said it, god damn, I was dead. Oh yeah, sorry for the ass on the screen, guys. God, dude.